So the reason I put this in is to make it more rigid because these little crevices were causing it to flex and I wasn't getting an accurate measurement with that flex on the window. I'm going to add a few more. The plan is to create a window flare out of this cardboard template. And a window flare is something that makes the window pop out a bit more to give you more inside room. And the main reason to do that is so that you can sleep horizontally. So if this is the top-down view of the cargo area of the van, we're looking at 5'10" wall-to-wall without insulation. With insulation, we're looking at another 1 to 2 inches on top. And so that doesn't give you much horizontal sleeping room. What you do then is you add these little bubbles, or window flares as people call them, and that gives you an extra 3-4 inches on both sides. The design I'm going with is a sort of geometric design, and it'll be tadpole shaped so that it's more aerodynamic. If we look at the most aerodynamic object, which is a drop, the wind is going this way and it circles around and falls off nicely with minimal resistance. And so if we slice this in half, we get this shape, which is kind of like a wing, an airplane wing. So if that's that rear window and I do a cutout, the bed is going to be in the rear. So the bed will be somewhere here, and there could be heads here or feet. If the teardrop tapers off too much, the person sleeping at the end will have less space. And so I can't have it a perfect teardrop. So my idea, let's take this and make it a top down. I'm going to have a bit of a bevel here, and then we have our teardrop shape. And so that's kind of what I'm going to end up with. It's not ideal because there will be a good amount of air turbulence here because there's not a smooth cutoff like in a teardrop. But there's no choice because the rear window is so close to the end of the van. There's no way to actually get that shape and give us that extra room to sleep in. So this is the compromise. Now let's look at the design I came up with from the front. So this is what I drew in GIMP on top of a photo. I went for a 3D geometric look, and you can see where it tapers off. So the tadpole beginning is right here. It falls off, and then there's still a bit of a bubble. So this is what I'm going for. Now when I drew this, I didn't really take into account this big curve at the top and bottom. So I have to modify my design now. I don't like this. So after a couple failed design attempts, I just decided to start building out of cardboard. And I figured I could figure it out as I go along, instead of drawing it out. I also decided to listen to music while I was doing this, so that means I can't actually have audio from the in-camera microphone, since there might be some copyright issues, so instead I'll be putting music over the video. Hope that's okay. I got a new glue gun because the other one, it was from the dollar store and it was okay for the price, but it just kept leaking. So this one I got off Amazon. This one's 150 watts with temperature setting. I got it for 35 maybe. The other one was 40 watts, so this is 150 watts. Really nice thing is that it heats up right away. This was literally 10 seconds after I finished talking and I had just plugged it in. Ooh, that's hot. So this is just a prototype template, and what I didn't account for was the curve in the van, which is an easy fix. Basically, I take the bottom sheet and I curve it to the van, and then when I'm cutting this piece I need to account for that curve, and I just make it a bit thicker at the top. The rest is exactly the same. I'm gonna sit a few days and reflect on this design, see if I need to make any adjustments. If I don't, then I'll take my corrugate and begin fabricating it from this cardboard template. Afterwards I'll fiberglass it. Now I want to get an idea of the curvature of the van. Okay, so I'm simply going to measure the top while the bottom is in place. 1.25 inches. Yep. So even though I found the distance from the top to the body panel, that doesn't give me the exact curvature. That just gives me the difference between the bottommost point and the topmost point. And I don't know what sort of curvature it has. So I gotta come up with a way to figure that out, or I'm just gonna basically shave it and try to fit it. The other thing I want to try is to create a geometric starter piece. Here I have a curved one, and I thought a curved might look nice because almost the entire flare is geometric, but because of the Sprinter window curvature, I have a rounded end piece, and I thought it actually worked quite nice having the geometric part mesh in with the more rounded part. I thought I could carry that on to the front, and I think it looks pretty good, but I do want to try a geometric front just to see if it looks better. Also, the reason for this front instead of having it flat is to break up the wind a bit so there's less turbulence in here to kind of slide it on. The issue, as you can see here, is it will create some turbulence in the back. So I might do something about that as well. And this is the nice thing about using just a little bit of glue for prototyping, is I can remove entire segments fairly easily and have them as standalone, and then just reattach them if I want to try a different idea. I should have used thicker cardboard. Okay, that's good. This one's right. Yeah, that looks ugly. I'm not gonna finish that. That kind of looks better. Boom. That's not bad. Not bad at all. Yeah. Nice. So that's the geometric version I came up with. I don't know if I like it. I've never done prototyping with cardboard before, or really in general, and I wanted to share that I had a ton of fun doing this. I can do it so quickly now with just a glue gun, a knife, and cardboard. I basically created this in just a couple hours. Maybe I could have done it in half of that time in a 3D rendering program, but this way I can actually plop it on the van, and that's helped a lot, especially in figuring out the curvature issue. The other thing I wanted to share, the last thing for now, is that this glue gun I bought is so much better than the dollar store version. It's almost 10 times the price, $35 versus $4, but it's like night and day. The control I have with this nozzle, the temperature control, and the fact that this one doesn't leak when I finish using it and put it down, that's the biggest difference. The other one just kept leaking everywhere. It's not even usable. So that's it for this video. I'm going to sit on this design for a few days to see if any other ideas come to mind. And if they don't, then I'll go ahead and fiberglass it in the next video.